Yeah, Halfborn said. Then we'll come watch you beat the Meinfretter at insults.
And I'll throw a walnut at him, Mallory finished. Give us 30 minutes or so to get in position. Sam, Alex, take good care of her, boy.
We will, Sam said. Even Alex did not complain. I realized I'd been completely outmaneuvered. My friends had united on a plan to maximize our chances, regardless of how dangerous it might be for them. Guys, Hirth signed. Time is wasting. Here, for you. From his pouch, he handed me Othala, the same runestone that we'd taken from Andrian's cairn. Lying in my palm, it brought back the smell of rotting reptile flesh and burnt brownies. Thanks, I said, but why this particular rune? Does not just mean inheritance, Hirth signed. Othala symbolizes aid on a journey. Use it once we are gone. It should protect you. How? He shrugged. Don't ask me. I'm just the sorcerer. All right then, TJ said. Alex, Sam, Magnus, we'll see you on the ship. Before I could object, or even thank them, the rest of the group trundled off through the snow. In their yachting white clothes, they quickly disappeared into the terrain. I turned to Alex and Sam. How long have you all been planning this? Despite her cracked and bleeding lips, Alex grinned.
About as long as you've been clueless, so for a while. We should get going, Sam said. Shall we try your rune?
I looked down at Othala. I wondered if there was some connection between inheritance and aid on a journey. I couldn't think of any. I didn't like where this rune came from or what it stood for, but I supposed it made sense that I'd have to use it now. We'd earned it with a lot of pain and suffering, the same way we'd earned the mead. Do I just throw it in the air? I wondered.
I imagine Hurston would say,
Alex continued in sign language.
Yes, you idiot.
I was pretty sure that wasn't what Hirth would say. I tossed the rune. The Othala dissolved in a wisp of snow. I hoped it would reappear in Hirth's rune bag after a day or two, the way runes usually did after he used them. I definitely did not want to buy him a replacement. Nothing happened, I noted. Then I glanced to either side of me. Alex and Sam had disappeared. Oh gods! I vaporized you! I tried to stand up, but unseen hands grabbed me from either side and dragged me back down.
I'm right here,
Alex said.
Sam?
Here, Sam confirmed.
It seems like the rune made us invisible. I can see myself, but not you guys.
I glanced down. Sam was right. I could see myself just fine, but the only sign of my two friends were their impressions where they sat in the snow. I wondered why Othala had chosen invisibility. Was it drawing on my personal experience? Feeling invisible when I was homeless? Or maybe the magic was shaped by Hearthstone's family experience. I imagined he wished he were invisible to his father for most of his childhood. Whatever the case, I didn't intend to waste this chance. Let's get moving, I said.
Hold hands,
Alex ordered. She took my left hand with no particular affection, as if I were a walking stick. Sam did not take my other hand, but I suspected it wasn't for religious reasons. She just liked the idea of Alex and me holding hands. I could almost hear Sam smiling.
Okay, she said. Let's go.
We trudged along the stone ridge, heading for the shore. I was worried about leaving a trail of footprints, but the snow and wind quickly blew away all traces of our passage. The temperature and wind were as bitter as the day before, but Scotty's apple cider must have been working. My breathing didn't feel like I was inhaling glass. I didn't have the need to check my face every few seconds to make sure my nose had not fallen off. Over the howl of wind and the boom of glaciers calving into the bay, other sounds reached us from the deck at Naglfar. Chains clanking, beams creaking, giants barking orders, and the boots of last-minute arrivals tromping across the fingernail deck. The ship must have been very close to sailing. We were about 100 yards from the dock when Alex yanked on my hand. Down, you idiots! I dropped in place, though I didn't see how we could hide much better than being invisible. Emerging from the wind and snow, passing within 10 feet of us, a troop of ghoulish soldiers marched towards Naglfar. I hadn't seen them coming, and Alex was right. I didn't want to trust that invisibility would keep me hidden from these guys.